السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. في هذه الحلقة وهي الحلقة الثانية من سلسلة تصحيح الامتحان الوطني الموحد للباكالوريا، سوف نقوم بتصحيح الامتحان الوطني الموحد للباكالوريا الدورة الاستدراكية 2012 مادة اللغة الانجليزية شعبة الاداب والعلوم الانسانية. Hi there, my name is Ahmad Mansour, and in this lesson we are going to correct the 2012 national exam. Okay, so let's read the subject that we are going to talk about. Your English friend wants to know more about cultural events in Morocco. Write an email to him or her describing Moroccan cultural events, festival, celebration, museum, or a fest. Now, when you watch lesson number 1 in this series, you are going to learn how to describe someone. But the topic here is that how to describe an event. Okay? So, which event are we going to describe? We are going to describe a Moroccan cultural event. Okay? So, what type of writing are we going to write? Are we going to write a paragraph? Are we going to write an essay of 5-paragraph essay? Or are we going to write a letter? Okay, so your English friend wants to know. So you are going to write to an English friend. Your English friend wants to know more about cultural events in Morocco. Okay, so write an email to him or her. So, in this lesson we are going to learn two things. We are going to learn how to write an email to an English friend, and we are going to learn how to describe an event to a foreigner. Now, but before that, we are going to watch a short report about cultural events in Morocco. In this short report about Morocco, we are going to talk about some of the most festivals, ceremonies, and celebrations in Morocco. As you know, that Morocco, the crossroads of Europe, Africa, and Arabia, has some of the most diverse culture and geography in the world. In this beautiful country, we have many religious celebrations, local celebrations, and international celebrations and festivals. For the religious celebrations, as Moroccans, we celebrate Eid al-Fitr on the 1st of Shawwal, and we also celebrate Eid al-Adha on the 10th of Dhul Hijjah. These are the two celebrations that is celebrated by Muslims around the world. And we also celebrate the birth of the Prophet, peace be upon him. For local celebrations, we celebrate the festivals of roses on the first week of May, and Asila's festival, Box Lantern Procession that is celebrated in Sali to commemorate and honor the birth of our Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. And then Emil Shell Festival in Atlas Mountain that is known for getting married. For the national celebrations, we celebrate the Green March that is on the 31st of December, and Independence Day that is celebrated on the 8th of November, and also the Throne Day that is celebrated on the 30th of July. I'm talking about foreign celebrations. We celebrate the New Year and the Labor Day on the 1st of May. We are going to talk in this short report about one of the second of Muslims' celebration that is celebrated every year, which is called al-Adha. Now, in this report, we are going to answer some of the WH questions, or what we call the interview questions. Now, what sort of day is it? As we know, it is a religious day that is celebrated by Muslims around the world. Now, when do people celebrate it? They celebrate it on the 10th of Dhul Hijjah, the 12th month of the Islamic calendar months. Who celebrate it? Muslims around the world celebrate it. Now, why do people celebrate it? We celebrate it to honor our Prophet Ibrahim, peace be upon him. We honor and commemorate the willingness of our Prophet Ibrahim to sacrifice his son Ismail as an act of obedience to God when God intervened to provide him with the lamb instead. Now, what traditions practiced? Now, before the Eid, there are many preparations. People go to the souk, that is an open air, big open air market. They buy lamb, goat, camel or cow. They also buy some pastries, new clothes and other stuff for the Eid. On the Eid day, people usually get up early. They have a shower. They wear lovely new traditional clothes. They go to the Musalla, that is an open air mosque, and they say the takbir. In the Musalla, they do the prayer, then they listen to the Imam's sermon. When they finish, they greet each other and they visit their families. And also, by the name of Allah, they slaughter their animals. Although Moroccans like to grill and barbecue the liver and other parts of the meat, they also devote some of their animals to the poor and old people. They want to communicate good values such as sacrifice, altruism, and brotherhood. Okay, so after we have watched this short report about cultural events and the diversity of festivals, celebrations and feasts in Morocco, and also after watching some specific events and traditions practiced in al-Adha, I'm quite sure that you are going to answer these questions here about al-Adha. As you know that when you write about or when you describe an event, you have to answer specific questions. And these questions are most of the times called WH questions. These WH questions are the words that I have written in a red pen. So, what, who, when, where, why, what, how, and which. Okay? So we are going to complete our chart here by answering these questions. Then we are going to move to write our email to an English friend. So what sort of day is al-Adha? Okay, so it is a religious and then who celebrates al-Adha? So Muslims celebrate it. Now, where do Muslims celebrate it? They celebrate it everywhere. But when do they celebrate it? They celebrate it on the 10th of Dhul Hijjah. And Dhul Hijjah is the 12th month in the lunar Muslims calendar. Okay, so where they celebrate it everywhere in the world. Okay, so why do people celebrate al-Adha? As we have seen in the short report, we as Muslims, we celebrate it to honor and to commemorate our Prophet Ibrahim, peace be upon him. Okay, so what traditions do people practice? As we have seen that people, before the Eid al-Adha, they go to the souk. What is souk? A souk is literally an open air market. So they go or house, and then they may also buy, for example, they may also buy clothes. So these are the preparations before the Eid. Now, what do people do at the day of Eid? Now, first of all, they have shower. They also wear clean traditional clothes. Okay, and then they go to the Musalla, that is an open air mosque, and it is a big open mosque. Okay, after they pray and after they listen to the sermon, they disperse and then they visit their families. Their animals. Okay, so they don't eat all the animal, they devote 1/3 of it to the poor and to old people. So okay, so how do you feel? How most Muslims feel at the day of Al-Eid? Okay, I myself feel delightful. Delightful. So what values do Muslims communicate at the day of Al-Eid? They communicate sacrifice, also altruism, and brotherhood. Okay, as you see here, we have completed our chart about the necessary events that we are going to use in our email. I leave you with this chart and then we move to the writing stage. Now, let's talk about how to write our email
to an English pen friend. As you know, first we have to start by the salutation, and because he is or she is an English pen friend, so we have to say dear Mike, dear Lucy, dear Sophie, and so on and so forth. And then we are going to write an introduction to our email. We say, "Hi, how are you? I am so happy to write you this email to tell you about a famous celebration in Morocco." And then we write the body of our email. We say, "Every year," and by the way, this is a topic sentence, "every year Muslims around the world celebrate al-Adha, literally translated as the Feast of Sacrifice. It is the second of two religious holidays in Islam. It is celebrated at the 10th or on the 10th of Dhul Hijjah, the 12th month of Islamic lunar calendar. It honors and commemorates the willingness of our Prophet Ibrahim, peace be upon him, to sacrifice his son Ismail as an act of obedience to God, when God intervened to provide him with a lamb instead." In Morocco, for example, the preparations start several days before. People go to the souk, a big local open-air market, to buy the best sheep, camel, goat or cow they can afford. They also buy new clothes, pastries and other gifts for children. On the Eid, people get up early, take a shower and wear traditional clothes. The day begins with takbir to honor God, then a prayer followed by a sermon in a local open-air mosque called Musalla. When the Imam, the clerk, finishes his sermon, he allows people to disperse and encourages them to visit their families. Next, people go home and by the name of Allah, they slaughter their animals. Although Moroccans like to grill the liver or barbecue the liver and meat, they usually devote 1/3 to poor and old people. Okay, so we finish here by supporting sentences and we move to the concluding sentence. Eid al-Adha symbolizes our willingness to strengthen altruism and empower brotherhood values. And then we come to the end and to close our email. What about your cultural events? Would you write and tell me about one of your famous and exciting celebrations, festivals or ceremonies? What specific traditions practiced? What special food and clothes? How do you feel? Then we close it by saying best wishes, and then we write the writer's name, that is your friend Ahmed.
I must say goodbye for now, and if you have any comment or if you recommend writing about a topic, you just leave a comment here, and don't forget to subscribe, like and share this video with your friends. Goodbye.